Good afternoon, football fans. Welcome to Galveston Ball at Westbrook Bruins. I'm Jacob Guidry, the commentator of tonight's game. Here with me is Christian Cox.
Jacob, unfortunately the game has already started, but how are you feeling tonight?
Yeah, we got an electrifying game tonight. Galveston Ball is a big team coming into this game, but they were undefeated for a majority of their season. They went 7-0 until they reached Barbers Hill last week and went 62-60. They lost that game, unfortunately. Westbrook, they beat Beaumont United 48-7 in last week's game in a Bowman Bowl. Huge blowout win for them. So, Christian, big game here. Westbrook is 4-4 now. Galveston Ball 7-1. A lot on the line here for Galveston Ball, but Bowman Westbrook, they're out here to have fun, play a good game, and keep that winning season going.
Absolutely. I actually heard one of the coaches before the game say, "Hey, if one of the coaches for Galveston Ball actually say, "Hey, if we win this game, we're into the playoffs." So it is a must-win game here tonight for Galveston Ball. If you are just now joining us, Beaumont Westbrook, they actually punted the ball already. We have 10 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Galveston Ball forced them to punt the ball, and now they have the ball here in the first quarter. It is going to bring up a third down and two. Score is still 0-0. We haven't gotten too far into the game now.
And unfortunately, due to some issues, we were a little late to start on this game, but this program is run by student professionals, and we're going to have a good game here.
Yep, as we see a really good run from Galveston Ball there. Not sure who it was on the carry. Looks like number three, Jawan Woodbury, the wide receiver there, getting the ball. We'll bring up a first down and 10 with the clock running.
And that's something we're gonna have to watch out here for in the Galveston Ball offense. They're able to do it all. They're able to run and pass the ball. But this Westbrook defense, we seen them show out in last week's game against Beaumont United.
Forcing what I think it was 6 interceptions last week. An incredible game from the defensive side of the ball for Westbrook. And hey, it led to a lot of points on offense too. So they're definitely getting a little hot here. Let's see what they can continue to do moving forward.
And
We,
now it's 2nd and 10 for Galveston Ball here. First quarter, still 8 minutes on the clock.
as we see him step back, and he's going to take his screen pass there, but it will be incomplete. Number one, Arinthis Win, running back, does not make the completion. That was a good play design from Galveston Ball there. He looked deep at first, and they set up that wide receiver or that running back screen there, trying to get those linemen out in front of him to give him the block, but he just cannot reel the ball in there. I would bring up a third down and 10 for Galveston Ball. He's going to drop back again. He's looking to the left side of the field. He's going to throw the out route, and it is just off the hands of wide receiver 24. That would be Bryce Holmes. So we see a fourth down. Are they going to stay on the field here? This early in the game, we saw it a little bit last week. Some of the shots that were taken early on. What do you think they're going to go for here?
Now, one thing we have to talk about is the special teams. The special teams are absolutely incredible on both sides of these two great schools, especially for the Westbrook. Westbrook has an amazing kicker and punter, and even better returner. So let's see what happens here.
That is a little bit of an odd play there. They kept the offense on the field. Quarterback Kaiden Barker there was actually the punter on that play. They didn't line up in a traditional punt formation, which, if you do not know, you do not have to be in a specific formation to punt the ball. You can just punt it whenever you would like. So they were like, hey, we're going to try to trick him up a little bit and punt it with our quarterback, which is a very surprising play. And he got it far down the field and he put it inside of the 10-yard line. So we will see Tam Anderson taking the field for the Westbrook Bruins. He had an exceptional game last week. He had two on the ground, and he had a really good offensive night there. As we see the jet sweep, that will be Jalen Dartez getting the first down there. What a play there.
And he also had a very great game last week against Beaumont United. This run for Westbrook, they're unstoppable. The O line, they're able to make those gaps, make those holes, and that running back has got a very easy job after that.
And it is just exceptional to see the development of Tam. Last year as a freshman, he did get some starts there. As we see Javion Denley getting the carry there for about a gain of 3. Last year we saw a little bit of Tam Anderson getting on the field, as a freshman, getting those starts. And then to see just the giant leap he has taken to become a great leader of this offense as a sophomore. A lot of guys don't even play on varsity as a sophomore, let alone be the starting quarterback as a sophomore. So that is just an exceptional achievement for Tam Anderson there. As we see the read option, he's just going to give it to the running back. That will be Javion Denley again.
Javion Denley is a senior for Westbrook, and if you didn't know already, tonight is senior night for Westbrook, and they have a lot of seniors. I can tell you that. But this is gonna be a lot of guys last season, even playing for football,
As
and
we
we
see
might have
the
a
free
flag.
play coming out and a little bit of a push, but they will take the free 5 yards. Tam, knowing that he had a free play, he's going to snap that ball instantly, and he's going to try to throw it up, and no matter what happens, they're going to keep possession. If you do not know what a free play is, a lot of guys in the NFL nowadays try to attempt to pull that play off. A free play is just whenever a defensive player steps off sides and the ball is snapped before the referees can call or draw the flag there. So they have basically a free play because no matter what happens, they're going to get to move up 5 yards.
And originally, they were set up on the 26, and now they are on the 31.
It would bring up a first down and 10 with 6:50 left in the game. A read option here as Tam Anderson keeps the ball. He has a blocker, and he's going to go for about a gain of 6 on the play. Lead blocker 85. That would be Jacob Gamachi Gonzalez there. As we see a substitution, that will be Javion Denley coming out of the game.
Yeah, this offense is gonna be, a real weapon against Galveston ball. They're gonna need to put a stop if they want to win this game. But Westbrook, they're definitely unstoppable. We could say that.
Yep, as we see the very quick pass out of the backfield, that will be Jalen Dartez with the incompletion there, or Tam Anderson threw the ball, but it was incomplete to Jalen Dartez.
And
You
that's
know,
what
what
we
I have noticed so far is that this Galveston ball defense loves to blitz, and they're showing blitz a lot. These guys are trying to guess that snap count. And as you see right then and there, he's trying to draw him off sides with that fake snap there. He's going to look to the sideline, trying to audible. He's going to call it out to his lineman there. We see a trip set at the top of your screen and a little bit of pressure, but he's going to run through and get another Westbrook first down.
Tamara Anderson, he could definitely use his legs. That's not the only time we're gonna see him, just able to take the ball and make a play out of it like that in this game.
Yep, absolutely. A lot of this is going to be based around his ability to run and also just the running game in general. But what I've loved to see so far is the fact that they're trying to bait them into, these offsides. They're trying to draw that by changing what the snap count is. You see, last play, he actually it was a it wasn't just one and done where they snapped it. As we see, an excellent tackle in the backfield there, number 35 for Galveston ball. That would be Lawrence Collymore. And I apologize if you play. We don't want to get names wrong up in the booth. Everybody likes to get their name
Right,
said
right.
correct. Yeah. As you see, it brings up a second down and 10 for Westbrook. He's going to look deep here, going to take his shot deep down the sideline. Can he make the completion? No, it is just a little bit overthrown there. That was to number 13, Brian Briggs. He was running down the field there, but it just was a tad overthrown. That would bring up a third and 10 for the Westbrook Bruins. 5 minutes and 10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, so Tamer Anderson, we don't really see a lot of incompletions from him. He's a very accurate passer when it comes to football. So that's not something we typically see here.
Absolutely. As we see the motion across, bobbles the snap a little bit. He's going to drop back, and it's going to be a screen pass, but nobody is open, or nobody's there, should I say.
And that's, you can't have that miscommunication in this game. You have to be very communicative. You have to know the play. And as you've seen there, we can't have that again if they want to win this game.
Yeah, the closest receiver was number 85, James Moore, but the ball was not thrown in the direction or close enough to where he could catch the ball. That would bring up a 4th down and 10 for Westbrook. They will bring out the punt unit. And it looks to me like Dylan Purnell, the star of last week's game, is going to punt. And it's a little bit of a shorter punt. It looks like it might have been blocked. I think Westbrook can fall on that. No, they're just going to, well, it didn't cross the line of scrimmage. But it did get tipped by that Galveston ball defense. And we were just saying, hey, Dylan Purnell, star of last week's game. Oh, that was, I messed up again. Andrew Nyrider, that's on me. I apologize. But both of them are incredible players. Dylan Purnell is the kicker, and he made some excellent kicks last week. And Andrew Nyrider is an excellent punter. We saw him in warm-ups making 50-yard punts, or kicking the ball 50 yards down the field, which is something you just do not see out of the high school level. That will bring up Galveston ball with the ball at the 28-yard line. They're just going to run the play action, a little bit of a screen or check down, and a really good tackle by number 25. That would be Christopher Landry there, coming up to tackle him in the backfield. Number 3, Jawan Woodbury on the completion, on the catch there. It would bring up a 2nd down and 9. So, Jake, we have seen some really good defense from both teams so far, not allowing any scores more than halfway through the first quarter.
And that's what you're going to see when you playing big schools like this. Galveston Ball and Westbrook, they have very, very, very good defenses. And when those two are going up at each other, you're not going to score in a game like this.
As you see a deep drop back here, he will make the completion over the middle. Again, that will be Jawan Woodbury on the catch there. That is really good to make that completion over the middle. And that would be Samarian Stewart there on the tackle. A very big completion of about 21 yards there. Bring up 1st down and 10 with 3:50 and counting on the clock in the first quarter. He's going to drop back again. He's going to take his screen pass. He has some blockers. He has a little bit of space. He
notice that they aren't making any large plays. They're going for these very short routes, these screen passes, run passes, but they're eventually leading up to big plays like we just seen. That was a quick little throw, a quick little pass, and you seen there he got about a 10, 15-yard gain.
Absolutely. As the ball is now at the 29-yard line, they are going to run the play action again. He's going to hit him on the slant, and he fumbles the ball. Can Westbrook fall on top of it? Yes, they can. That is number 2, Xavier Williams on the recovery there. Excellent play there from the Westbrook defense. I am not sure who broke that ball up.
As we see here on the replay, he looks deep, looks over the middle for it, but he just hit as he's catching that ball.
Yep, he did complete the process of the catch. He did take a couple steps, and it was ripped out by that Westbrook defender there. Just an excellent play. You see ball, you go get ball. That's what happens when you're on such a stout defense like the Bruins. And that is an excellent play, and that would have put Galveston ball in the red zone and would have potentially set them up to take the lead here. But instead, Tam Anderson will lead the Bruins back on the field here. As we see a hard run there, handoff up the middle to number 25. That would be Christopher Landry there.
And now that
get the carry.
last fumble recovery by Westbrook by Zane, that's going to get them absolutely riled up here. They're going to be fired up. The energy is going crazy. You can even hear the band from up here in the booth. We heard this last week in the Beaumont Bowl. We can hear it again from here. So they're pumped up. Energy is insane here at Doggy Stadium.
As we see, he breaks a tackle up the field. That is number 26, Tavares Bell. That might have been Tavares Bell on that last run as well. You know, it's a little bit hard to see when you're up here. But that will be a really hard-fought game for the Bruins. Bring up a first down and 10 as we close on 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Tim Anderson has played a really excellent game so far, as such as that offensive line. Yet another long open run leading to another Tavares Bell first down.
Westbrook, they started here in their own 10-yard line, and now they're all the way up on their own 40, and that just shows how excellent this offense has been this drive here, especially on the run game with number 26, Tavares Bell.
Yep. You know, speaking before the game, we were saying how well their running game is, and in 3 plays, they've gone 30-plus yards. As we see the wide receiver screen to Jalen Dartez there, we'll get about a gain of about maybe 8 there. We have under 2 minutes now to play in the first quarter. You know, this might be a little bit of an upset alert. You know, going into it, Westbrook was 4-4, going to 500 last week when they beat Beaumont United in a very excellent game for the Westbrook Bruins. And then, you know, Galveston ball, you know, maybe they're slowing down a little bit. They did lose to Barbers Hill last week, 62-60 in overtime. And that will bring up Tony Calhoun on the tackle for the Galveston ball Golden Tornadoes. And that would be Tavares Bell with yet another carry. He is getting a lot of carries early on in this game, and they're probably going to keep giving it back to him with the way he's played so far.
Yeah, he's been absolutely on point, and I don't see any reason why you wouldn't want to give it to him at this point, because he's got the team already on the 45-yard line.
Yep. That would bring under a minute now as they motion James Moore outside. They're going to run the wide receiver screen with the lead blocker. Jalen Dartez is going to fight for the first.
Call here, and that might have been crucial for the offense here.
Yeah, I mean, going back to it, I love seeing that play call. You know, they motioned James Moore out of the backfield, brought him to the left side of the field, and then they snap the ball and throw it that way as well, giving James Moore some momentum to go set a block. And they got the first down, but Tim Anderson doesn't concentrate on the snap there. He's going to lose 5 yards, or almost, I think, 10 on the play. We'll bring up second down and 19. And I think that the Westbrook Bruins would just let the clock run out here, try to regroup on the second down opportunity.
And that's exactly what they're going to do as we go here into the second quarter. Now, Christian, we've seen, you know, big plays so far in this first half. What's the biggest thing? What's the biggest play that you've seen so far?
Well, the key highlight of this quarter is absolutely that forced fumble and fumble recovery by the Westbrook Bruins. You know, the Galveston ball Tornadoes were moving the ball down the field. They threw a slant, and, you know, they were going into the red zone, but Westbrook was able to force that fumble, and Xavier Williams was able to fall on top of it.
Yeah, and that got them to an even incredible spot than what they were. They were in their own 10-yard line after the fumble recovery, and now they're almost at midfield here on, I believe, the 40s. I know they're on their side of the field on the 40-yard line. So when they come back into this game, we can expect some more big runs, some more big screens, some small screens that turn into big plays. We're going to have an exciting second quarter.
Yep, and if you're just now joining us, this is a student-run production by BISD TV. Everything you see from us up in the booth, me, Christian Cox, my co-host, Jacob Guidry, even to down on the field working the cameras. If you see the big camera up top, that is us. As you see on the game day graphic here, that is Jarvis Bissett there, linebacker, senior. It is senior night here as we see the Westbrook Bruins go ahead and take the field here. They flip sides of the field, and we see Tam Anderson roll out a little bit. He's going to have a receiver open, but just a little bit low there to Jalen Dartez. And something that we haven't seen is these long passes down the field for Tam Anderson. He's had the check downs, he's had the screens, but he hasn't been able to complete anything 10 or even 5 yards down the field here. Let's see if he can start hitting those throws, because that will open up the offense a lot more for the Westbrook Bruins.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to just take those passes. You don't want to say, oh, we're in good position. Let's just throw it in the air. You have to do what works for your team. You have to do what works for your quarterback and your receivers and even your O-line, because those guys, they got to buy you some time.
As you see an empty set, they're going to motion James Moore over to the left side of the line here. He's going to roll out as soon as the ball is snapped. And yet another incompletion. That will be to Brian Briggs, wide receiver there. Just couldn't get it to him. And I've liked this scheme, this offensive scheme that the Westbrook Bruins have. They've given Tam a lot of freedom here. As soon as the ball is snapped, hey, I'm rolling out of the pocket. I'm not even going to let the line collapse. And I think that also shows how they've built this offense around Tam's skill set, because he is a dual threat quarterback. And so you want to get him into that open space so he can make the decision on whether to pass or run the ball. But it will bring up a 4th down and 19 as we see Andrew Nyrider make an amazing kick. It will be returned by Jawan Woodbury. He's going to go down the sideline, high-stepping, and will high-step out of bounds after a decent gain. It's going to be out about the 39-yard line. That would be Keegan Guidry pushing him out of bounds there. The score is still 0-0 going into the second quarter. Who do you think is going to score first and why?
Whoever takes it to the crib first, that's going to be a big play for them. That's going to be a big momentum shifter to put them in the lead in a game like this. These are two very incredible teams. We talked about their defenses earlier in the game, and we said that it's going to be hard for both teams to score against each other.
Yep, as we see a handoff up the middle, it will not be but a 3-yard gain. That is number 31, Thomas Brannon, on the tackle there. Pretty much dragging him down by himself there. We bring up a 2nd down and 7 at their own 43-yard line. So, Jacob, speaking back to the Beaumont Bowl, we saw an excellent victory from Westbrook. Really good defense, really good offense. And how do you think that is translating into this game so far?
I think it's translating perfectly. And, both sides of the ball for Beaumont Westbrook, they played incredible in the Beaumont Bowl, and they did really well.
As we see a deep throw over the middle there, he had him open on the deep post, and we almost seen a miraculous one-handed catch there, but it was just a little bit too far out of his reach, and he could not bring it in. That will bring up a 3rd down and 7. Yet again, as they bring the blitz, but it will be a screen pass, and he has a little bit of space down the sideline. He will get the 1st down, and he will get tackled. That is number 1, Aaron Ty Wynn. What a play from Westbrook there. From Galveston Ball. Westbrook, they had a little bit of pressure early on, but then they're like, hey, it's a screen pass. That's why nobody's blocking us. They were getting those offensive linemen outside and giving him lead blockers to go up the field.
And that's what we have to talk about. If you're going to run that ball, you got to have blockers, because if you're not blocking the ball, you're not going to get anywhere with that football.
As we see a good throw on an out route, Kaiden Barker will complete it to number 12, London Dayon. That would be Brayron Briscoe on the tackle there. 2nd down and 5 for Galveston Ball.
Now, Westbrook, they're going to have to stop these short completions by Galveston Ball. If they don't stop these short passes, they're going to keep getting these 1st downs, and eventually they're going to end up in the red zone and into their crib.
Yep, as we see a good defensive stop, that will be number 99, Ashton Carter, and number 40, Andrew Nyrider, kicker/linebacker, on the tackle. You know, we haven't seen Andrew Nyrider a lot on defense besides that special teams kicking the ball, but hey, he can make tackles too, slamming him down to the ground there.
That's really spectacular to play multiple positions for a football team. That takes a lot of head space. It takes a mindset, and it takes the physical ability.
Yep, absolutely. As we have a 3rd down and 2, not sure if he got there. We will see what the referee says. It looks like he's going to call him short. It will bring up a 4th down and 1. You know, Galveston Ball brought an extra lineman onto the field there. Dylan Alford was the sub lineman in there. He was in instead of a tight end, and they could not get there still. And that is excellent defense from the Westbrook Bruins, bringing up a 4th down and 1. Score is still 0-0. As he snapped the ball, they're going to hand it off up the middle yet again, and he gets pushed past the line to gain. Number 1, Aaron Ty Wynn on the carry. You know, and Galveston Ball has been taking it a little bit slower on this drive so far. We'll bring up about 8.5 minutes left to play in the second half. The ball is on the 29-yard line. As we have Galveston Ball on the 1st down and 10. It's going to be yet another handoff. He's going to break it outside. He has a blocker, and it looked like a little bit of a hold there, but, you know, the refs don't see that. It will bring up another 1st down for Galveston Ball.
And like I previously said, Beaumont Westbrook, they have to get these stops here. If not, they're going to end up making a touchdown to put them in the lead, and they absolutely do not want that here in the second half.
You know, and a lot of the philosophies that defensive have nowadays is the bend but don't break strategy. You know, they're like, hey, you can get into the red zone, but if you can't get into the end zone, we're okay with you having those 3 points because our offense is going to go down and score a touchdown. As you see, a handoff up the middle, but it looks like every single Westbrook Bruin is there to make a stop. Another handoff up the middle. Looked to be number 30 maybe on the carry there. That would be Solomon Adams for the Galveston Ball Tornadoes. 7:20 and counting now in the second quarter. Bringing up a 2nd down and 12. That will be...
And we got a big sack here by Westbrook. That was number 15 on the sack there. That's Keegan Guidry again. We've called his name multiple times tonight, and he just got a big sack there for loss of yards.
Yeah, Kaiden Barker, the quarterback for the Galveston Ball Tornadoes, didn't see him coming off that edge, and he gets sacked. They will drop back yet again on 3rd down and 18. He's going to step up in the pocket, roll out to the right. He's pointing his receivers up the field. He has a man in the end zone, but it will be out of the end zone. It will be incomplete. That will bring up a 4th down and 18. Let's see if they will keep their offense on the field, bring out the punt unit, or kick a field goal.
That was amazing coverage by the defensive back for Westbrook. Braven Briscoe had that on lock. And what I mean by lock, he did not give that receiver any room to make that catch, to even get that touchdown there. That's amazing effort.
Yep, absolutely. And we're going to say it over and over and over again tonight. These defenses are playing and will play very amazing. It will bring up a 4th down and 18. Galveston Ball is going to motion a man across but stay on the field here. They're going to run the end around. He's going to lateral back to his man, and it looks like they're going to have a little bit of space here, but they will not get close to the 1st down marker. That will be Zane Williams on the tackle there. Jawan Woodbury getting the carry. It will be a turnover on downs for the Galveston Ball Tornadoes.
And you know, that play looked a lot like Beaumont United, Christian, because Beaumont United, they love to run those trick plays to confuse that defense, and they almost had Westbrook here, but they were able to get the stop there.
Yep, and that is just good vision on the defensive side of the ball, being like, hey, we can see what you're trying to do. And if you look and you saw on that replay, Zane Williams delivered a massive hit there. I don't know if any of y'all saw that, but he jumped and, I mean, just laid an absolute big hit onto him there. So we will see a carry from Tim Anderson. will not get anything on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10. That will be an excellent defensive stop for the Galveston Ball Tornadoes.
Coming up at halftime in just 6 minutes, we'll have the battle of the bands between Westbrook and Galveston Ball. I'm excited to see how they're going to perform.
Yep, as we see a little bit of a slant there to Jalen D'Artez, he will spin out of a tackle and carry 3 defenders on his back for a gain of about 15 on the play, or a gain of about 20 on the play, but a flag is thrown. I'm not sure what they're going to call. The flag was thrown at the end of the play near the 36-yard line. If you are just joining us, our score is 0-0 with 5:50 left in the game. Or not left in the game, 5:50 left in the second quarter. Westbrook Bruins holding the Galveston Ball Tornadoes to 0 points. And the same on the other side. 0 points for the Westbrook Bruins. You know, what do you think it's going to take for these offenses to put points on the board?
And to be honest, you're going to have to work around these defenses. I don't think they're going to score until late into this game, possibly late third quarter or early fourth quarter. It's really hard to tell, but by how these defenses are playing, that's what I'm going to predict here.
Yeah, a couple of big plays, but they do not allow you to get into that end zone, which is the ultimate goal there. As we see a little bit of play action there, and Jalen D'Artez will get the catch and get to 1 yard short of the first down. Bring up 2nd down and 1. You know, that's something we've seen all game is Tam Anderson and this Jalen D'Artez connection. Running a lot of screens, giving the ball to him a lot is what we're going to see here.
Yes, absolutely. You know, he's been an absolutely weapon for this Westbrook team.
Yep, and we will see a doubles formation coming out. A blitz off the edge. It will be a handoff, and he cannot break free of that free Russian defender. That would be number 33, Robert Brock there on the amazing tackle. That would be Javion Denley with the carry. You know, and seeing him off the edge, Robert Brock guessed when the snap was going to come and absolutely got into that backfield and wrapped around his ankles and said, "No, you are not going anywhere." And he stopped him by himself before help came, you know, and getting in on that tackle. I'll bring up a 2nd down and 12 after a loss of 2. He's going to look to his right, look to his left. He's going to look deep down the field. He has an open receiver, but it will be too far, and it will be incomplete.
And I believe that's our second big pass attempt in this game. One for Westbrook and this one now for Galveston Ball, and they have not been successful so far.
Yep, yet another target to Jalen D'Artez, this time going deep, and he had him open. There was a little bit of room to place that ball into, just a little bit overthrown there. We'll bring up a 3rd down and 12 with a 4:24. The clock does stop, unfortunately, for the Westbrook Bruins. He is going to just keep the ball on the quarterback keeper. He's going to get about 6 on the play, bringing up a 4th down and 6 there. You know, and this might be inside of field goal range if you are Dylan Purnell. You know, the ball is placed on the 34-yard line, but it looked like they do not believe that that is within his range, so they're going to keep the offense out there. You know, and with these defenses, or with these offenses struggling so hard, I don't see any reason as to why you wouldn't keep them on the offense here.
And there we go again. We can see Tamara Anderson trying to get that defense to jump again, and they're going to call a timeout. Westbrook, that's their first timeout here in the first half.
You know, I really like that play call. It was actually marked a 4th and 5. So if Tam was able to draw them offsides, it would have been a 1st down. So it is really good ball knowledge and, you know, really well executed. I mean, unfortunately, they of course didn't draw that offsides, but that is something that you build into your game plan, saying, hey, on this specific call here, we're not going to jump if we're on the offense. We're not going to snap the ball. And it leads to them trying to fake them out so the defense, comes off sides. And they don't do it, and it will bring up a 4th down and 5 for
And
Westbrook.
and after this timeout here, it doesn't look like they're going to go for the field goal still, as Dylan Purnell is still on the sideline. So it's interesting to see what Westbrook is going to cook up here.
And some scores from around the area. The Memorial Titans versus the Sterling Rangers is 0-0 in the first quarter. Not sure if that game has started yet. And another game from the area, the Deweyville Pirates take on the Sabine Pass Sharks. It is still 0-0 in the first quarter. Again, we do not know if those games have started yet or not. But it is an amazing night for football here. A little bit gloomy today if you're in the Beaumont area. You might have seen a little bit of rain with a high of 80 at the game's start time. Tam Anderson will roll out, and it will be tipped off the hands of number 5, Phoenix Pope, almost coming up with a pick there.
Now, if you don't know who Phoenix Pope is, he is rated a 5-star, and he is committed to Texas as University of Texas, and he's a big weapon for the Galveston ball defense.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that actually,
Yeah,
but
he's very, very big guy there.
but I can see why. I mean, he got up there and made an excellent defensive play there to not allow Jalen Dartez to catch that ball and get the first down for the Westbrook Bruins. Galveston ball will have 4 minutes and all 3 timeouts to go down the field. Let's see if they can make anything of it. You know, earlier on in this game, they did have the ball in the red zone, but there was a forced fumble and recovery by the Westbrook Bruins. We will see a handoff up the middle. He has a little bit of room. That will be number 1, Aaron Ty Wynn on the carry. 2nd down and 5 coming up. So looking forward to halftime. You know, it is senior night. Do you think we're going to have any festivities like we did last week?
Now, early in the pregame show, there was, of course, senior night. A lot of seniors, as I said before. But during halftime, we can look forward to some of those festivities. Last week, it was a tug-of-war event, and Beaumont United came out with the win.
Yep, as we see him roll out of the pocket there. And an excellent catch, but they will mark him out of bounds. Kaiden Barker making an excellent play to roll out there. That will be Braylon Briscoe on the force out there.
You see on that replay what
Got the completion there as he was out of bounds. And an excellent play from Kaiden Barker to get out of the pocket yet again on this play right here. And it will this time be completed to London Dion there. You know, on the last play, they did not make the completion. This time they did. It will be a first down for Galveston ball. And I'm not sure if the clock is now running. Just under 3 minutes now to play. The ball is at the Westbrook 45-yard line. Galveston ball still has all 3 timeouts, and only a minute has came off the clock here since they've gotten the ball back. And it will be an RPO. It will be out to the left side of the field. He does have a blocker. He's going to take it for maybe a first down. Not sure whether they will mark it. He would just be short about a yard, maybe 2. And that is number 3, Jawan Woodbury on the catch there, getting outside.
On that replay, he got a block there. It looked a bit like holding, but there was no flag there, so he might have got off with that one.
You know, and something that has become a trend, you could say, over the past few years in football is, you know, whenever somebody on the offense is blocking and they feel that hold, they'll throw their hands in the air, and that's a telltale sign that it is a holding. As we see Kaiden Barker rolling out of the pocket yet again, but he cannot make the completion. Andrew Nyrider with the pressure there.
An excellent job by this defensive line for Westbrook. They were able to add that pressure, making number 7, Kaiden Barker, the quarterback for Galveston ball, roll out of the pocket to the right, and for being forced to either run out of bounds or throw it out of bounds. And great effort there by this defensive line.
And he did have a receiver, but it was just off of the fingertips of his receiver there. It will bring up 2nd down and 10. Kaiden Barker will just hand it off. No, he won't. It is a read option. He's going to take it for about a gain of 4 or 5 on the play. That will be Zane Williams on the tackle there. And this is actually his first full game back since his injury. He actually had a shoulder injury. He is part of BISD TV for people who did not know. So we've seen a lot of him, on the sidelines. We've talked to him a lot about his injury, and he played a little bit last week against the Beaumont United Timberwolves, but this is his first full game back since his injury, and he's showing out really well early on. As we see a breakup of the ball, it will be tipped at the line of scrimmage.
And now to touch more on Zane Williams here, for his first game back, he had an incredible game, as you said, with a fumble recovery in the first quarter of this game to get Westbrook in a really good spot, actually, in their own 10. Well, not a really good spot, but a good position to get started.
Yep, absolutely. And, that's what we love to see from the defenses, that bend but don't break strategy. Not bending and not getting scored on in the red zone. And they forced that fumble and they got that fumble recovery. And that is definitely our biggest highlight of this first half. And looking around the area, we have the Nederland Bulldogs losing to the Huntsville Hornets 14-7. Last week the Nederland Bulldogs actually beat the Port Neches Grove Indians in a very, very close game. That is the Mid-County Madness. That is one of the biggest rivalries in Texas, if not the entire country. So to see Nederland take it out against the last year's state championship is incredible.
Absolutely.
As we see Galveston ball trying to get into that end zone before halftime, it would bring up 4th down and 5. This is a make or break situation if you are Galveston ball here. Kaiden will take the snap, will throw it, but nobody is going to be there to complete that pass. And it will be yet another turnover on downs. Westbrook will have another opportunity before half
And
to get points on the board.
this gets his offense absolutely fired up. As we can see, they running out there cheering. This is a big moment for them. They have to accept this opportunity to make this big play, get a touchdown, go into the locker room, regroup, get into the mindset, come back out here, and make even bigger plays.
And if you're the Westbrook Bruins, you have to be absolutely, proud of how well these guys have played for the Westbrook Bruins. Galveston Ball is a potential playoff team. I mean, these guys had state championship. That was on their mind. So for this score to be tied 0-0 before halftime is just absolutely amazing. As we see, Tam Anderson on the read option does not take it, and that will be Cameron Thomas on the tackle after a gain of 1 on the play. 1 minute and 15 seconds left. Westbrook has 2 timeouts, will not decide to use one. As we see those hand signals coming over from the sideline, Tam is going to give the call to his team, trying to get this ball out quick because they got to move down the field. They do not have enough time to huddle up and call a perfect play. It is going to be yet another read option. This time, Tam Anderson has a lot of room. He's going to run out of bounds after a first down carry. That will stop the clock with 55.5 seconds left. And that is a really good read. That is something we've been talking about all game. Tam Anderson and his dual threat ability.
Now, in the previous few plays, the running plays by Tamara Anderson, he wasn't too successful, but here on that run, he got a first down, and let's see if he can keep it going as the clock is stopped with 55 seconds left in this second quarter.
It will just be yet another handoff, but he will get stopped. If I were Westbrook, I would take a timeout here, but they are just going to let this clock run.
And that was Robert Champs for Galveston Ball with the tackle to get a big stop here to put them now on second down.
And the Westbrook Bruins would just let the clock run here. I'm not sure why they would do that. They had enough time on the clock to get into that red zone.
And even 2 timeouts left. I don't think that's the perfect call here for
Westbrook. They're going to continue to let this clock run. 18 seconds in counting. Tam will snap the ball. Another handoff. He will bounce outside and get about 4 on the play. The clock continues to run. That is number 26. That will be Tavares Bell on the carry.
Not exactly sure what were the plans here for Westbrook and their sideline staff, but it's halftime now. Westbrook Bruins and Galveston Ball 0-0.
Yep, it will be tied at 1 on the season. You just dropped 60 points against Barbers Hill, and you're getting shut out at halftime by the Westbrook Bruins. But also the way that these defense has played, they've played very well. And, these offenses haven't been able to string together positive plays.
Right, but these defenses, we're gonna be talking about that all game, Christian. They're absolutely 10 on 10, fire on fire. They're in the right mindset. They're getting these stops here.
And that will bring us to halftime. After the bands get done playing, you can join us back here on the live, and we will be back in just a moment.
memories and friendships made here close to heart. Congratulations, class of 2025. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy To Catch a Thief.
Welcome back, football fans, to the broadcast presented by BISD TV. I'm Jacob Guidry. Here with me is Christian Cox. You know, Galveston ball at Westbrook. We have a very good game here. What can you tell me about the quarterback, Cameron Anderson?
Well, Tamron is a dual threat quarterback. He's moved the ball not only downfield, but he's moved it on the ground as well. And we've seen a really excellent run game from the Bruins so far.
Right, and especially for Galveston ball, Caden forcing them roll out and even get that incompletion or anything like that just to get that ball back.
Yep, and so we have the highlight of the first half. We have Zane Williams with an excellent fumble recovery off of the forced fumble, and that is what we recognize as our game highlight.
Yeah, as you said earlier in this game, Zane, this is his first game back after his injury, his first start, and he's been on point this game with the fumble recovery and a lot of tackles already just in the first half.
Yet another highlight is an excellent hit for Zane, forcing a turnover on downs for the Galveston Ball Tornadoes. And, as we look to some of the scores from around the area, we had the Montgomery Bears 10, PNG 14 at halftime. The Huntsville Hornets 21 versus the Nederland Bulldogs 17 in the second quarter. Newton is up 55-0 against the Warren Warriors at halftime.
And now, coming into this game, let's send it back on the field where the game is about to kick off in just a few minutes.
Something we have not talked about enough is these jerseys from both teams. I mean, you look at the Westbrook Bruins, iconic. That red and blue is, a lot of people say that they bleed red and blue around here. So, and then you look on the other side towards Galveston Ball. They have that purple, they have that yellow, they have that white, and it is a really excellent color scheme.
I really like those, that all white. It looks really nice on them.
It absolutely does. It absolutely does. As we see the Westbrook Bruins, they will or it looks like they will be kicking off, actually, to start the second half.
And that's Dylan Purnell that will be kicking, number 80. And we talked about him a lot, especially the special teams overall for Westbrook. They're really a great team and an unstoppable one, especially the return team. But even bigger on the kicking, he's kicking from 40. That's big for a high school kicker. What do you say, Christian?
Absolutely. I mean, in the high school level, PATs are one thing. Being able to hit from, the 10, maybe the 20-yard line, but hitting from 30 plus yard, from hitting from 30 plus, that is a 40-yard field goal there, and that is just excellent for him to be able to hit in high school. As we see, he is ready to kick off. If you are just now joining us, this is a student-run broadcast. I'm Christian Cox. This is, again, Jacob Guidry in the booth here. The score is all tied up 0-0 as we are about to begin the second half. Dylan Purnell will kick the ball down the field, and it looks like it will be a touchback. He has a leg on him for sure.
Yeah, that's something that we just talked about. This kicker, he's something special. He's like a beast. He's got a leg that I've never seen before in high school.
Absolutely. And, one of our talking points for Galveston Ball was Kaiden Barker, but also Jawan Woodbury getting the ball a lot for the Galveston Ball Tornadoes. And, you look at the other side and you have Jalen Dartez, getting the ball a lot for the Westbrook Bruins. And we see Tam Anderson warming up on the sideline. He's already trying to get back into this game. It will be first down and 10 for the Tornadoes. And they're going to start with a little bit of a play action. He's going to run the slant to who else but Jawan Woodbury. Will be a 15-yard gain at the very first play of the second half.
And as we talked about it, Zane Williams, he was able to get that tackle there or force him on the ground, leave him no option but to go down. He's a key player here in this game.
Absolutely. He is one of the best players on the team, as we see yet another pass to Jawan Woodbury. You know, we're going to keep saying his name over and over and over tonight, and he gets the completion right there.
And already in these first few plays in the second half by Galveston ball, Westbrook is able to swallow up these receivers and leave them no option but loss of yardage. Well, not loss of yardages, but stops.
Absolutely. Galveston ball at their own 46 now. He's going to drop back. He's going to go deep. He has a receiver, and he's going to beat him, and that will be our first points for Jawan Woodbury, making an excellent play there, beating the cornerback down the sideline. That will be Corey Jones who gets scored on right there.
And
Excellent play, giving the ball to Jawan Woodbury 3 times, back to back to back, and he gets all the yards and goes where, Jacob?
to the crib, unfortunately, I have to say that for Galveston ball, but you know, over there, that was the defensive back. He didn't beat him off the line, but as that speed, it activated, and the defensive back just lost him there.
Yep, that is absolutely what happens. I mean, Jawan Woodbury, he seems like he is a very big guy. And to have that speed on him as well is just excellent to see. And that is our first points. An excellent one-play touchdown, or not really a one-play touchdown. They did have 3 plays, but that long touchdown to make the lead 7-0 for Galveston ball. And it is going to be interesting to see how the Westbrook Bruins respond to such an explosive first drive for Galveston ball.
Now, early in this game, I predicted the first touchdown would be in the late third quarter, but my prediction was wrong. We could see early in the third quarter, Galveston ball scores first. And a quick recap of what we've seen from these defenses. Again, the fumble recovery by Zane Williams to put Westbrook in their own 10-yard line to even get them an incredible drive to the other side of the field. And we're going to expect a lot more of that going into the rest of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully, or not hopefully, we love to see our offense, but we also love to see these defenses too. These defenses have absolutely showed out so far. They've gotten stop after stop after stop. And, you see, that long touchdown, you're like, what are they doing? But that is really the only mistake they've made so far this game. And you can't even call that a mistake. You have to give Galveston ball credit where credit is due. And, that was an excellent play for them.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many big plays like that in the first half of the game, but coming into the second half, immediately, first big play, big pass down the sideline for a touchdown, and we finally see it pays off as the other big plays were incompletion. So it's good to see progress and momentum.
Yep, absolutely. So it was kicking out of bounds on Galveston ball. So Westbrook will get the ball on their own 35-yard line. We have just over a minute taken off the clock here in the third quarter. Again, the ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. We'll bring up first down and 10 as Tam Anderson leads the Bruins onto the field here. And they will be in a trip set here. They have motioned James Moore across this field a whole lot of times. Let's see if they bring him into motion or even try to get him involved early on in the second half.
And I think that's just, a way that this offense is trying to trick this defense, trying to find a loose point where they can get around and make a big play off of it.
Absolutely. They're going to motion him to the left side of the field, making it trips on the left side of the field. But it's going to be a keeper from Tam Anderson. He's going to juke his way and find a little bit of a hole for about a gain of 4 on the play. It would bring up a second down and 7. Shout out to all of our fans here tonight. If you're watching the game at home, if you're watching the game at the stadium as well, we appreciate all of y'all for being here. Again, this could not happen without any of you guys being here.
If you want to support our program, our student-ran program, BISD TV, You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook and get content and news stories about Beaumont Independent School District and our sports teams.
And speaking of some of that content that we do, you were actually featured. Well, are the star in your podcast called Huddle Talk. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, if you didn't know, again, I'm Jacob Guidry, the color commentator of tonight's game, but also one of the star hosts on Huddle Talk will be ISD TV, and Cameron Lawson, my co-host. We talk about sports. Our first episode was just a recap of the Bowman Bowl, and it should be dropping very soon here this week.
As we see a deep pass down the field to number 14, Joshua Wilson. That would be Joey Cancia on the breakup there. An excellent play for him there to make that breakup. And a little bit of an underthrown ball. Josh Wilson had to turn around and come back to the ball. He was backstepping a little bit there. If that ball would have been a little bit more out in front of him there, he would have been going to the crib.
Yeah, and
But
I have to give it to Westbrook there to take that shot to get that opportunity. They had it, they tried it, but now they're going to punt here. Possibly a flag. Yeah, but we have a flag now coming out for possibly offsides.
yeah, both sides are arguing over who it was. It looks to me like it's going to be a false start. Now, one of those defensive players did jump up, but I'm not sure that was the offsides. I think it was a false start from the Bruins. We see a bunch of Bruins gathering around the refs trying to see what happened. And what will the referee say? He will call offsides on. Oh, wait. That would be
That
a
would be a
false
false
start.
start.
Yeah, false
Yeah.
start. My apologies. My
False
apologies.
start on the Bruins to bring them back a few yards here.
I seen his hand going out to the offensive side of the ball, and I was like, hold on, I'm missing something up. Anyways, that would bring up a 4th down and 10 now for the Westford Bruins. If that would have been an offside, that would
And now
have been a first down. And it looks
look
like
another false start on the Bruins, possibly on the center here.
yeah, the referees are yet again conferring, and this would push them back to their previous. It would push them back behind their starting point at the 35-yard line. This would push them back to the 30-yard line, and they will get moved back, bringing up a 4th down to 15. So it goes from a punt at the 40-yard line to a punt at the 30-yard line. That is some key field position to lose.
And that just makes this punter job even harder. Had a good field position, could have got a nice and easy punt to put them deep, and Galveston's ball on half of the field.
That'll be Andrew Knightrider on the punt. It will land at or get caught at the 30-yard line. Number 8, Javion Joseph, will take it down the sideline. He has a little bit of a block. He's going to break it outside and gets about 30 yards on the return there, bringing it back to Westbrook's 40. That will be Javion Denley forcing him out of bounds there. What a play from Galveston ball, and maybe that's where the momentum starts to shift a little bit.
Absolutely, they're gonna need, that excitement. They're gonna need that momentum to keep these plays moving.
Yep, absolutely. And for Galveston ball, we were talking a little bit about this momentum. They came out of halftime blazing. They had 3 plays to none other than Jawan Woodbury, and in 3 plays they got into the end zone. And then they get a stop and then get an excellent return on the punt. And we see just a short gain, a little bit of a shove at the end of the play, but nothing comes of it. 2nd down and 8 for Galveston ball.
And again, really great effort by the defensive line for the Bruins. They've been, on their toes this game, getting these big stops. And as I mentioned, the quarterback for Galveston ball, number 7, Kaiden Barker, he's been doing pretty good to escape the pocket, especially when that blitz is coming.
Absolutely. As we see the motion, we'll bring a tight end into the line and a short run, a little bit of a tassel after the play, them fighting through those blocks, of course. And it will bring it down a 3rd down and 4 for Galveston ball. So, Jacob, the momentum has seemed to swing in the favor of Galveston ball I think this is a very key moment for Westbrook. What do you think happens here?
If they don't get this third down stop to move it to fourth down, that's not going to be good. Galveston ball is going to be close to the red zone.
Yep. And it looked like he caught it just at the yard, at the line to gain. They will mark it a first down and 10. You know, that forward progress will keep that first down. He did get pushed out of bounds prior to the first down marker, but again, he caught it past the marker, so it will be marked a first down.
Something that Galveston ball loves to do on these, close to fourth down conversions. They love to go in the air with it. They love to force that ball into the air and hopefully get some big gains off of it.
And we have a comment here saying, great camera work. We appreciate you so much. That is something that we practice all the time. As we see a ball going into the end zone, and it will be caught. Number 88, that would be Jeremone Charles, tied in, getting a touchdown for Galveston ball. And that is just an excellent play. Beat him off the line of scrimmage, got past the safety there, and got into the end zone.
And Westbrook, as we just said, they need to step up the game on defense. They were playing really, really, really well in the first half of this ball game, but they're starting to lack up here. The Galveston ball found those weak points. As I mentioned, they found those weak points. Now they're attacking those weak points.
Absolutely. They had to have made a couple of adjustments, seeing like, hey, our running game isn't working so well. We're going to try to hit these deep balls. And so far, they have hit. As we see, the PAT is no good. I think it hit the upright there. And the score will remain 13-0. That might come back to bite them. A little bit of a tongue twister there.
Yeah, these PATs, field goals, punts, that is really important to the game. You might not think that's very important, but special teams, man, that's what's gonna help you win these ball games here.
Yep, absolutely. To start that drive, Andrew Nyrider kicked one heck of a ball all the way down to Galveston ball's own 30-yard line, but the returner there, Javion Joseph, took it back for 30 yards all the way to the Westbrook 40-yard line, and that set up that long touchdown pass over the middle to Jeremone Charles. Kaiden Barker here has looked pretty good. He has 2 touchdown passes. He's made his reads really, really well. He's been able to scramble out of the pocket and get the ball out and not take sacks at all. He's only taken 1 sack so far. I think he has played an amazing game so far. As we see the return coming out, a little bit of a shorter kick here, but Westbrook will return it up to the 40-yard line for about a 20-yard return there. That would be Tavares Bell on the return. Westbrook, if you are Westbrook here, you are not necessarily desperate to get a score here, but you definitely do want to try to put points on the board because you do not want them to extend this lead yet again. We have a comment from PDog119. He says, Ball is playing without Jonah Williams, who is out for the season after he broke his collarbone last week versus Barbers Hill. And honestly, I don't think that has affected Galveston ball as much as people think it would. You lose a starting offensive lineman, and they've only taken 1 sack. Now, the run game has taken a little bit of a hit here, but it has not been that bad.
And on that last play, the intended target was Jaden Dartez, the wide receiver, who's a senior this year, but the ball was well overthrown by number 1 Cameron Anderson. And that would have been a very big play for the Bruins here to put them in a good position to take this lead back. As it's 0-13, they need 2 touchdowns to get the lead back.
Yep, and as you can see on that last play, Jalen Dartez was wide open. He would have went into the end zone, but again, it was just a little bit overthrown. And if you're Cameron Anderson, you're like, man, can I get those back? Because there's been a lot of balls this game that he's just barely overthrown. And, hey, you're glad that he has all that arm strength, but, you just got to get that chemistry down and hit those throws. Because if you hit any of these long passes that have been missed throughout this game, this could be a completely different game so far. Now we have a 3rd down and 6. Score is 0-13. Galveston ball is up with 7 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. This is a very important down here if you are the Westbrook Bruins. A trips set to the right side of the field. They will motion James Moore across, and he will take the read option. He's going to roll out. He's going to throw it across the middle of the field, and it will be caught by Jalen Dartez. Excellent play there. That is what we like to see there, moving the ball down the field. And, you know, Jacob, something that we have seen throughout this entire game and even throughout the entire season is this connection between Jalen Dartez and Tam Anderson. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, communication is very important in any team. You have to have communication between your quarterbacks and your wide receivers because that's how you make those huge plays as we seen there for a first down.
I have a comment correcting me on a previous statement I made. Jonah Williams plays wide receiver safety for the Galveston Ball Tornadoes. But even still, that is an important piece to be missing. But, you know, they have filled in. Jawan Woodbury has, you know, he has a touchdown catch of his own. He's gotten the ball a lot of times throughout this game. And also, Jeramone Charles has caught a touchdown pass as well. So even though, you know, they are missing one of their, you know, star players, they still are able to make do without that piece.
Now on the previous play, Tamron Anderson with a quarterback keeper, big play to get a first down. Bruins not only 10 yards away from the red zone. And we see here Tamron Anderson on another keeper with the fake handoff, but he gets negative yardage there.
As we see Javion Joseph coming up with the stop and stopping him like a brick wall because Tamron Anderson had a little bit of running room there, but Javion Joseph got off that block and was able to make that tackle in the open field.
Now, Christian, this may be the Bruins' most important drive right here. They're close to the red zone, close to the end zone, and if they're unable to convert this first down, they're gonna have to go for the field goal, but that's not ideally what they want.
As we see Tam Anderson rolling out again, and it is almost intercepted, but just bounces off of the shoulder pads of none other than number 5. That would be Phoenix Pope, the 5-star committed to Texas, if I can recall correctly. You know, we saw him earlier on in the game have a key pass deflection, causing Westbrook to punt the ball. And here, even though he does not get the interception, that is still a key breakup, not allowing them to get that completion and get that first down there.
Bruins need this first down here. It's 3rd down and 9. What do you got, Tamron?
He's just going to keep it. He's going to go up the middle, but they cannot get a block for him, and that will be 2 players in on that backfield stop. That will be number, it looks like 58 there, or maybe 56 there, Robert Champs on the stop.
And now number 80, Dylan Purnell, the kicker, the beast kicker, he's coming out onto the field. It looks as if Bruins will go into field goal here, and we may
where Tam Anderson was tackled.
We hope everything is all right down there. So we have the athletic trainers for Galveston Ball surrounding him and treating as he now gets up. And that's number 22, Fisher Letsos, the defensive back.
Walking off of the field under his own willpower. And, you know, also speaking back to Dylan Purnell, you know, earlier in the game we were saying, hey, are they going to take this field goal? And it looks like now is the opportunity. The ball is spotted at the 29-yard line. So this is within his range as a kicker. It looks like they're going to send him out there for a long field goal try. Now, the thing about these long field goal tries is that you have to hit the ball a little bit lower over that line of scrimmage to get that ball through, to give it that right arc. And that also gives the defense an opportunity to block that. So if Galveston Ball is smart, they would try to jump up and you know, get this ball out the air, which we'll see here. It brings up a 4th down and 10. Dylan Purnell sets a kick here. Andrew Knightrider is the holder. Looks like they do not have a rotation. those goalposts. And you have to give it to him. That effort there is amazing. And he was maybe a yard, maybe a half yard short there.
Sure did look close Christian out.
You know, looking back to that 2nd down and 9 with Phoenix Pope getting that almost interception. He got the break up there. And it forced, you know, that keeper from Tam Anderson, and it brought up a 4th down and 10. And hey, if Tam Anderson gets 1 yard or even gets back to the line of scrimmage, we might have 3 points on the board for Westbrook. But instead, he gets tackled behind the line of scrimmage and doesn't get into those goalposts. As we see an excellent catch there, that would be Jawan Woodbury on the catch there. That is an amazing play. You know, we've been speaking about this all game. That would be Kaiden Barker rolling out of the pocket yet again. He has seemed to roll out to this right side of the field. And same thing for Tam Anderson. They both love rolling out. And, you know, they go to their dominant side as these are right-handed quarterbacks. It's a little bit easier to throw the ball if you're running to your right as a right-handed guy. And he hits Jawan Woodbury. I mean, what can you say about that QB wide receiver tandem? He's going to look down the field yet again, but it will be incomplete. That will be number 12, Derek McGrew, on the breakup. It will bring up a 2nd down and 10 with 3:45 left in the 3rd quarter. Ball is placed at the Westbrook 48-yard line.
And that's something this Galveston ball offense has been good at doing, and that's throwing the ball. They've had a lot of targets this game, but a lot of them were incomplete.
As we see a nice run up the middle, it will be 2, even 3 Westbrook defenders getting him on the tackle. Bring up a 3rd down and 7. Number 1, Aaron Ty Wynn on the carry there. Playing really well so far is Kaiden Barker and Tam Anderson. Wearing those single-digit numbers, that's something we always love to see. As it will bring up a 3rd down and 7 with 3:10 left in 3rd quarter. It is yet again another play action, and it is deflected off of the hands of number 12, London Dion. Tried to hit him on that slant pass there. It will bring on the punt unit for Galveston ball, 4th down and 7. And, you know, even though Westbrook has gotten scored on twice in this 3rd quarter, the defense throughout the game has still remained amazing. I mean, look at here. They only got 1 first down on this drive. They didn't move the ball very far down the field, even after the missed field goal attempt, so they started with very good field position, and it forces them to punt again. We see the punt. Can they get it down? They can. An excellent punt and punt recover. That is number 11, Donnie Walker, getting down the field to down the ball at the 1-yard line. If that ball bounces 1 more yard, it is a touchback, and they get the ball, you know, with more room to go.
Jawan Woodbury just let it roll there, expecting it to be a touchback, but it just kept rolling, and Galveston ball was able to get there in time to stop it from rolling into that end zone.
You know, and tonight is senior night for Westbrook, and we have a bunch of seniors as these, you know, person of the week. And for the cheerleader of the week, we have all of the senior cheerleaders.
Yeah, and they're fired up this game, hoping that the Bruins, you know, make big plays here, make a touchdown, because we absolutely need it here as we go late into this 3rd quarter.
Yep, and that will bring up a 1st down and 10 with the Bruins backed up at their own 1-yard line. They're going to drop back and throw it. He's going to roll out to his left. He looks, and can he make the completion? No, he cannot. Intended for Jalen D'Artez. That was a good ball. So some people might say, hey, that ball is a little bit low. But I actually think that was a really good ball. That gives him a little bit of room to, you know, extend out. And, you know, he's on the sideline, so he has to lay out for that ball. And it was just a tad bit off there. We'll bring up 2nd down and 10. And I like that play call.
And, yeah, I got to give it to Tamara Anderson there. being able to adjust to that, how the pocket formed there. He's able to roll out to his left, find his target, get the ball out in time.
Yep, absolutely. And a lot of teams in this situation would run the ball. It looks like they're going to run it again. He will get out. He will get a couple yards on the play, give them a little bit more space to work with. Gets about 3 there on the play.
And that brings the Bruins to third down, still inside of their own 5. I believe they're on the 4-yard line or exactly on the 5-yard line.
Yep, they are on the 5-yard line. It would bring up 3rd down and 6 with the clock running. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left.
You know, the last drive for the Bruins, they were in very good field position, close to the end zone to make that touchdown, but they came up short, forced into the 4th down, and a missed field goal.
Yep, and we have a penalty on the field. It will be false start on the offense. They will get moved back to their own, or half the distance to the goal, I think.
And this is just not good for the Bruins here. They're being pushed back even further, put onto their 1-yard line, and it's not a good drive so far for the Bruins.
So they get marked back to the 2, and the clock will continue to run. Just under 2 minutes now left in the 3rd quarter. And, you know, we've had a pretty good game so far, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. Even though Westbrook is down by 13, they've been playing exceptionally well.
And finally, an excellent play is made. You know, Tam Anderson throws the ball 40 yards down the field, and Jalen Dartez goes over 2 defenders and catches the ball on an excellent play. Finally, one of those deep shots connecting, and that is what we love to see from our 2-star players.
There we go again with that communication. You know, Tamara Anderson looked, he saw him open, he saw an opportunity, threw it up there, boom, got his man. Jalen Dartez got the ball, brought it back down with him, and held on as he fell down back onto the field.
Absolutely. I mean, that is just an amazing play there. You have to, like, be proud of these guys. As he's looking deep again, he has a man, and is going to be caught. Yet another deep catch. That would be number 14, Josh Wilson, on the catch there. Back-to-back 20, 30, 40-yard plays, whatever you want to call it. And that will put the Westbrook Bruins in the red zone after only 2 plays. They were backed up at their own 2-yard line. And in 2 plays, they go to the other side of the field at the Galveston ball 20-yard line.
Now we have an injury of Galveston ball here, but we have to talk about the Bruins. They big play, 2 big plays, back-to-back plays, deep passes. We didn't see that a lot here in this first half of game, but a sudden momentum and sudden change of momentum, and they've got big plays, and we're hoping for a touchdown here, Christian.
Absolutely. I mean, with this sudden change of field, you know, you would hope that the Westbrook Bruins have some momentum now, and obviously it seems to do. They go deep back-to-back plays saying, hey, if we can do it once, we'll do it again, and finally they connect on these deep shots down the field, and hopefully they can get into the red zone here. The injured Tornado will be able to walk off the field under his own power. It will bring up a 1st down and 10 at the edge of the red zone for the Westbrook Bruins. 1:10 left on the clock in the 3rd quarter. As we see the beautiful red, white, and blue take the field there.
Now Westbrook looking for a touchdown here in this late 3rd quarter with just 50 seconds on the clock, and is running down.
They motion Jalen Dartez across, but Tam Anderson, he's going to look down the field and he's going to run for it. He's going to get about 6 or 7 on the play there. And an excellent read from him, seeing, hey, I don't have a man open down the field. I'm just going to keep him myself. And they did not have a lot of defensive linemen rushing the passer there, so he was able to break free on that and get 6 on the play. That would bring up 2nd down and 4, and it seems to me like Westbrook is just going to let this clock run out here at the end of the 3rd quarter. We have 20 seconds left to play. Looks like they may end up snapping it after all. Trip set, he's going to look right and keep it himself. Excellent running room, and he's going to get the 1st down and get tackled inside of the 4-yard line.
And again, Bruins very successful drive, multiple first downs, and now they're on first and goal here.
Yep, and they will get the ball off. Was before the clock ran, but they do end up calling it dead and saying, hey, we're going to regroup, come back in the 4th quarter. Now, Jacob, do you think that the Westbrook Bruins have the ability to keep this momentum going?
I definitely think they have the momentum to keep it going. They are excited. They want to win this game. They're in the right mindset, and they're going to continue to keep this ball moving downfield.
Absolutely. As we see these teams switch sides of the field, they're going to walk down, talk it through, say, hey, let's get into the end zone. Hey, let's go make this stop. Again, the score is 13-0. Westbrook Bruins had the ball at the 4-yard line. 4th quarter will start momentarily. And if you are a fan in the comments, let us know who you're rooting for, who your favorite player is, if you have anybody that you know that is on the team. And also give us your score predictions. You know, even though the score is 13-0 and we only have a quarter to play, hey, anything can happen. We just saw an excellent drive from Westbrook. So, you know, feel free to write anything in the comments. And again, this production is ran by the students of BISD TV. Everything from us, we're students. Me, Jacob, Christian Cox, we're students. The cameras on the field, everything is student ran and student led.
Now, Christian, with Westbrook Bruins inside of the Galveston ball, 5-yard line, how do you think they're going to get this touchdown here? What do you think the next play is going to be here?
Well, so far on this drive, they've been able to throw the ball down the field. Now, you don't have as much space to throw the ball down the field here, but the passing game has been working. We've also seen them being able to run the ball. Tam Anderson is going to keep it. He has the touchdown. He does get into the end zone there, and that will lead to a Westbrook touchdown. Maybe that sparks some momentum for an upset here at the Doggett Family Stadium.
Now, if Galveston ball loses its game here, they will go 7-2, and Westbrook will go 5-4. Both with pretty decent records here, both looking to get that big-time win here in Beaumont, Texas.
You know, earlier before the game started, I actually overheard one of the coaches saying, hey, if we win this game, for Galveston ball, of course, they said, hey, if we win this game, we're into the playoffs here. So this is a very important game for Galveston ball. As the kick goes through the uprights, we see those flag bearers sprinting down the field. They're going to run the whole 100 yards. And just 4 seconds into the 4th quarter, Westbrook scores. And this may shift the momentum for the Westbrook Bruins.
And that's what they need here. They need a momentum shift, because if they don't, you know, get their mindset right, if they don't get the play calls right, they're not going to get what they're looking for late in this 4th quarter.
We have a couple of comments here. Dylan Maxwell says, go Tours. Hey, we always love to see all of our fans here, or you're a fan of the Tornadoes, but hey, we're happy to have you here. We have Walt saying, let's go Juju. I think Juju means Jalen Dartez, which is one of our Westbrook's very own. We have a couple of fans saying, hey, way to go Bruins. You know, way to go Bruins. We love to see that here. We love to see all teams flourish in our environment. That would bring up a kickoff. That would be Andrew Nyrider out to kick.
Now, well, the Westbrook Bruins defense have been on point so far in this game, and Kristen, we're looking for even more stoppages here for the Bruins.
Actually, that is Dylan Purnell out to kick. We have a couple of more comments saying, go towards number 24, Bryce Holmes. Shout out to Bryce Holmes there down on the field. We love to see all the interaction from the fans, not only on the live stream, but also at the stadium. We have one of the hypest student sections in all of Texas. We have one of the best bands in all of Texas, I would say. As we see the kickoff, it will be returned, caught at the 5-yard line. He does have a little bit of hole. He's going to take it all the way to the left side of the field, and he does not get the edge there. He will get tackled at the 16, maybe 17-yard line there. He did have a little bit of hole, but not the speed to get there. That would be Terrell Thibodeau, linebacker, getting the tackle there. Galveston ball will get the ball at their own 17-yard line. And Galveston ball is up 13-7. A little bit of a closer game than we maybe would have thought. But nonetheless, an excellent game to say the least.
This is a very important drive here, and we actually have a down Golden Tornado over on their sideline. But this is a very important drive here for Galveston ball. If they aren't able to make this a productive drive, Westbrook will have the chance to come back and win this game.
Absolutely. I don't necessarily think that this is a must-win drive if you are, Galveston ball. I don't think you have to score here to win the game. I think you just need to burn a lot of time off the clock. And if you get into the end zone or you get points on the board, that is amazing. Even 3 points here would put them up 2 scores, and that might push the game just out of reach. But I don't think it is necessary for them to get points here on this drive necessarily. There are still 12 minutes. Westbrook does have all 3 of their timeouts, and they will be able to use them once they get the ball back. A little bit of confusion. The player is still down on the field here as both the offense and defense are ready to play. And looking from games across the area, we have Nederland taking on the Huntsville Hornets. Huntsville up 28-24 in the third quarter. When we spoke a bunch this week and also last week about that rivalry game last week, Nederland versus Port Neches. And, Nederland actually won last week. As we see them get set a little bit, he's going to throw it short. He's going to pump fake. Actually, he pump faked me out. It's going to be a run up the middle. They're going to start trying to take some time off of this clock here.
And that's something that's going to be crucial here for Galveston ball. They have to burn that clock out, give Westbrook as little of a chance here, and that's what they're going to try to do here in this fourth quarter.
11 minutes and counting left here in the fourth quarter. Galveston ball is up 13-7. It will be a play action pass. He's going to look deep down the field. He has a receiver, and it will be bobbled, and it will be caught. Excellent play by Jawan Woodbury, bobbling and controlling it all the way to the ground. And that is an excellent play. I mean, you look at him at the very start of the play. We saw it on the field. We had Kaiden Barker looking down the field at the start of the play as well. And what an excellent read there to go down the field. And it will be a handoff up the middle. A little bit of momentum switching for Galveston ball. It is number 4, Joey Cancia, on the carry.
And one of our commenters said Barbers Hill going to be tough for the Brook next week. Now Galveston ball, they just lost last week to Barbers Hill, and even across school here in Beaumont, Texas, Beaumont United also lost to Barbers Hill. So Barbers Hill is a very big team in the Southeast Texas area. So it'll be exciting to see how the Bruins play next week.
And a tough run for about a gain of 3 on the play. A couple big plays coming out for Galveston ball. You had the long pass down the sideline to Jawan Woodbury, and then the last play, or the last run, to Joey Cancia, and that puts them in excellent position here at the 21-yard line with 10 minutes and counting left in the fourth quarter. We'll bring up 2nd down and 8 for the Galveston ball Tornadoes. Looks like a blitz is coming. It is going to come. He's going to throw it down the sideline, and he's going to beat the cornerback for the touchdown. That will be number 12, London Dion, making an excellent move in a little bit of a push-off, before that ball was thrown. But he does hit the celly in the end zone with his teammate there. And an excellent play to take that hit. I mean, you look at Kaiden Barker there, and he saw that blitz was coming. He knew he had to get that ball out. And instead of folding under pressure, he throws it and takes that hit. And it ends up being a touchdown that might just seal this game away.
And now Well, we did not think Galveston ball were going to run. We were expecting them to run out this clock or chew a lot of that time out, but they went straight for the touchdown.
Yep, and as we see the PAT goes through the uprights, that pushes the score to 20-7. Westbrook has to get points on every single drive from here on out. As we look across games from the area, the Beaumont United Timberwolves taking on the Lufkin Panthers. They are down 35-0 in the third quarter. We have 10 minutes left on the clock here in the fourth quarter here at Doggett Family Stadium. Again, if you're just joining us, this is a student-run program. Everything you see from the cameras to us here in the commentating booth. We are all students, and it is student-led. You know, something that we have talked about all game is this defense from both teams. And we've seen a shutout. We saw a shutout here in the first half, but we've seen some points come out for Galveston ball. They've got their offense moving down the field, and we've also seen a really good drive from Westbrook. What is it going to take for the Westbrook Bruins to stay in this game?
Now, I think they're doing an excellent job so far, and they've had a lot of great drives, but if they want to win this game, they're going to have consistency. They're going to have consistent first down, consistent plays, and they got to be mindful of that clock, and that's something that Westbrook isn't too known for.
As he will just catch the ball, that is number 7, Gene Harrell, on the catch there, or on the return. He steps out of bounds, and it will be Westbrook's ball at the 25-yard line. You know, this is a must-score scenario for the Westbrook Bruins. They are down by 13, so it is a 2-score game. So 3 points would not do them any good. They need a touchdown here. And we have a comment here saying Lufkin versus Ball next week for the district championship, and that would be big for both schools. Honestly, I haven't kept up with how well that both teams are doing, if that would guarantee them a playoff spot with a win there. But winning the district championship is amazing for both schools there. As we see 4 tornadoes there getting in on the tackle. That looks to be Jalen Dartez on the catch from Tamron Anderson.
Now, this is where we're going to need Tamron more than any part of this game. This is a crucial drive. Westbrook is down by 2 touchdowns here in this fourth quarter, with just 9 minutes left.
That would be a handoff to Javion Dinley. He gets the first down on the play, or I think he comes up a little bit short. It would be marked down a 3rd and 3. The ball will be placed at the 32-yard line. And this time is continuing to tick off the clock. If you are Westbrook, I feel like you have to pick up the pace a little bit to get some momentum back in this game, because you have to give your defense enough time to stop that clock and get that ball back. Tam will roll out to his left. He will hit a receiver, but there will be nobody there. A little bit of emotion on that out route there. Jalen Dartez seems to be the intended receiver. That would be Joey Cancia getting the pass defense.
And now looking over in Lufkin, Texas, we can see Beaumont United Timberwolves not looking too great for them, as they're in the third quarter. The score is currently 0-35, with Beaumont United losing. That's got to be absolutely horrific over there in Lufkin.
Now, as you look forward to next week for Beaumont United, they do take on Sterling for their senior night. You know, a couple of us seniors here at BISD TV might be down on the field for that one, and also all of the seniors for the Beaumont United Timberwolves will be here. As we see, looks to be maybe a timeout. It is a timeout from Galveston ball, their first of the half. It will bring up a 4th down and 3, very crucial scenario for Westbrook. They have to get this first down, and they have to get into the end zone.
We would like to highlight a comment by Richard Harvey. You 2 young men are doing a great job with the commentating, and it's people like you that support us by watching our live streams and giving us the inspiration and motivation to continue getting up here in this booth and to continue working and giving you all these great broadcasts.
Absolutely, we it wouldn't be possible without y'all guys supporting us, and we could think we could thank everybody that is here at BISD TV as well. As we see a punt coming out from Andrew Nyrider. It's kind of surprising, but they do have 3 timeouts to get this ball back. It will be an excellent punt. It will get down at the 17-yard line.
And Galveston ball just going to let the ball freely roam in the backfield, most likely expecting to make room to run the ball and chew as much of this clock out as possible.
You know, and honestly, I didn't expect them to punt the ball there. I was thinking, hey, maybe they play a little bit aggressive. You know, they're down 2 scores. But that is where some of that risk versus reward comes in. You know, you are at your own 32-yard line on that 4th down and 3. So if you do not get that 4th down conversion, that would essentially be the game there. That would put Galveston ball in field goal range, and it would put the game away for you. So I kind of agree with this call here to punt the ball. You know, if you get a stop without forcing them, without using any of your timeouts, you have all 3 timeouts for their next possession, but you would have to be quick on offense here.
Yeah, absolutely. Now the Bruins, they need a big turnover here or not even a turnover, but just a big stoppage. They have to get these Galveston ball tornadoes to convert on 4th down because that's a crucial play that they need to win this ball game.
Absolutely. It would bring up a 2nd down and 2 here. He will get the 1st down. And this running game for Galveston ball is starting to heat up a little bit. We saw it earlier on the last drive and a couple plays throughout the game of these big gains for Galveston ball. And you know, early on in the game, Westbrook's defense was not allowing any sort of run, whether that be from number 7, Kaiden Barker, the quarterback, or from any of the running backs that Galveston ball has put on the field tonight. They have not allowed a lot of big gains. And hopefully, you know, Westbrook can sort of lean on that defensive front to get the stops that they need.
Now Galveston ball letting that play clock run to 6.
A good stop there. Looks like number,
I believe
not
that
sure
was
what
number
number
45
was there on the tackle.
to get that tackle there. Treadell Bowen.
It will bring up 2nd down and 11 with 6:45 and counting. 2 minutes already taken off the clock on this Galveston ball drive here, and they're gonna just continue to run the ball. They're gonna motion a receiver out to the left, and it's gonna be a handoff to him. That would be Jawan Woodbury. He will take it down the sideline, and he stays in bounds, so the clock keeps running. And after a gain of 15, he is brought down. And that is an excellent play call if you are Galveston ball, and exactly how you drew it up. You say, hey, let's get one of our best guys the ball. You're going to motion him in, and you're going to hand it off. An excellent jet sweep. And to have that knowledge to say, hey, the clock's running. I do not need to step out of bounds here. Instead of just running out of bounds, he stays in bounds, and the clock continues to run.
Now, a lot of people may be thinking it's late in the 4th quarter. The Bruins, they aren't coming back, but I believe there's a really big chance here that the Bruins could make a big stop here, get the ball back, go downfield, and score 2 touchdowns to get this win.
Absolutely, and after a good stop there, after a gain of only 1 from Joey Cancia there, and a little bit of a lineman trying to sell that shove to the referee. He's looking at him, hey, man, he pushed me. But the referee's not falling for that tactic there. As we see, 5 minutes and 30 seconds. A lot of time has been chewed off of this clock. 3 minutes out of the 10 minutes had been chewed off. It will bring up 2nd down and 7 at Westbrook's 47-yard line.
Now the Tornadoes just got to continue to let this play clock run down as far as they possibly can.
And it will be a pass. A little bit of a tricky and sneaky play there. It was caught by none other than London Dion. And, I got a little bit confused on my words there. I was thinking about Halloween. On Halloween, you're a little bit sneaky. So if any of y'all participated in Halloween, let us know what y'all dressed up as and if y'all got any candy. It would bring up 3rd down and 2. Still a little bit short of the sticks. This is a very important stop here for Westbrook. Because if they stop the ball here, if they stop Galveston ball from getting a 1st down, that would lead them to punt or go for it, and you could potentially get the ball back without having to burn any of your timeouts. And it looks like a blitz is going to come off the edge. It's going to be handoff to Joey Cancia, but he will not get there, and an excellent stop. That blitz off the edge was the cause of that, and it will bring up a 4th down and 2, and Galveston ball will send that punt unit on.
Now, this is exactly what the Westbrook Bruins need. They needed this stop to get the ball back and to have an opportunity to make something happen.
Absolutely, and the clock continues to run. Westbrook opting not to use any of their timeouts, trying to save those for their next defensive possession. Well, they wouldn't have the ball, but Galveston ball would. And we see the Galveston ball punt unit come out onto the field now.
And now when the Bruins get this ball back, they're going to need to focus on clock management. We see no returners downfield there.
As the ball gets down at the 3-yard line, they will have to go 97 yards and get into the end zone before that 3 minutes and 34 seconds are up. They are down 20-7 at the 4th quarter.
Interesting tactic there, Christian, with no returners deep for that punt. What do you think the tactic was there?
I'm not too sure what it was there. I think that because it was 4th and 2, and their punter for Galveston ball is actually their quarterback. We've seen him kick the ball early on in the game, so maybe they were thinking, they might try to fake it here because, again, Kaiden Barker is their punter as well, and this time he just kicked it down the field. So I think that was the right move. Now you have to go 97 yards down the field, but you at least had the ball back. Whereas if you do put a returner deep, that is one less man to guard that line of scrimmage if they run a fake. They're going to motion Jalen Dartez out of the backfield, hit him on the out route. Excellent play call. And in the man-to-man coverage, he does beat his man to get a decent gain there. And I love that play call, motioning him out of the backfield on the designed play specifically for him. And he gets about a gain of 5 there, getting out of bounds and stopping that clock.
And again, I'm going to talk about this again because clock management is going to be very important in this drive. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the 4th quarter before the end of the game. Westbrook, they need 2 touchdowns to even tie this ball game up.
And motioning Jalen Dartez out of the backfield again. Tam Anderson will step up in the pocket, will keep it himself, and he slides down for a gain of about 8 on the play, getting the 1st down, but the clock will run. And the clock stops, but continues to run. No timeouts were taken. It would bring up a 1st down and 10. And, if you're Tam Anderson, you might not want to run the ball there, but you do have to take what the defense gives you, and you're going to make the play there. As we see Tam Anderson throwing it, but it is dropped. If he would have caught the ball, he would have been marked down at the spot of the catch because his knee was down. Number 13, Brian Briggs, the intended receiver on the play. If you are Westbrook, you start to get a little bit desperate here. You do have all 3 timeouts, so you can take your time to go down the field because if Galveston ball does get the ball back, you do have all 3 timeouts to stop the clock and potentially get the ball back. Going to motion Jalen Dartez yet again. He's going to look deep over the middle, and it is going to be picked by none other than Joey Cancia, running it down the left side of the field. He has a little bit of steam ahead and will run out of bounds at the 12-yard line.
Hold on, we do have a flag here about where Galveston ball ran out of bounds. Interesting to see what the call is here. But the Bruins will come off the field still. And looking into next week for Galveston ball, they will play at home against Lufkin on November the 8th at 7 p.m. And for the Westbrook Bruins, they will also They will play away at Barbers Hill at 7 p.m. That should be a good matchup there, out there in Barbers Hill.
Ab- be over. Galveston ball is set up at the 5-yard line after the penalty, and they most likely will get into the end zone to make this a 16 if they kick a field goal or a 20-point lead. As he gets very close to the end zone, some of the players are calling for a touchdown, but the referees are going to mark him short and place the ball at the 1-yard line. It will bring up a second and goal for Galveston ball. Now, let's talk a little bit about that interception. You know, they motion Jalen Dartez out of across the field, and they're going to put him in the slot as they snap the ball. And his route there was a little bit of a post, but he got really jammed at the line of scrimmage there by that defensive back. And Tim Anderson did not see that, so he tried to anticipate the pass over the middle of the field, but just couldn't get the ball to Jalen Dartez because Jalen Dartez was not there to receive the ball. And it lands right into the hands of Joey Cancia, getting an interception and also having a bunch of, really tough runs throughout this game. As we have a Westbrook Bruin that will be, looks like Josh Wilson or Keegan Gidry, that will be able to walk off the field under his own power there. Glad he's okay.
And looking over Import Natchez, the score is 27-24 with the Port Natchez Groves Indians in the lead right now. Very close game here in that fourth quarter over there.
After a loss, I think that that Port Neches Groves has to come out with a win here if they want a chance at going back to that state championship game, going back to the playoffs. And that's something that you always love to see is those heartfelt games. As you see, 2 minutes and 20 seconds counting. Galveston ball is up 20-7, second down and goal. They most likely will punch it into the end zone here with the run up the middle. Again, keeping it up the middle, and the one who got the interception and return is going to take it into the end zone. That is Joey Cancia taking it in, and it will put Galveston ball up 26-7 before the PAT.
No, I just can't stop talking about how talented guys are to play both sides of the football, to play defense, offense, or just even multiple positions. It takes a lot of physical ability and mental ability to play that hard in the game.
Absolutely, and you look at some of the guys that have played here in Beaumont. Last year, the Beaumont United Timberwolves had a guy by the name of Gilbert Anderson, and he played both sides of the ball. He was the quarterback, safety, and I think he also punted the ball as well. So he played all 3 phases of the game. And you look at guys from Westbrook side of the ball as well. They play both sides of the ball. And speaking of, you have Kaiden Barker playing 2 phases of the game, playing quarterback, and he's also the punter for the team as well. So being, especially in high school, where you might not have enough guys to say fill out, hey, one guy per position or multiple guys per position. Every guy kind of has to have 2 jobs on the field. So a lot of these guys play both ways, and that is something that we love to see.
And this game not too much in favor of the Bruins here. The score is now 7-27 with Galveston winning. 2 minutes on the clock. Not a lot of time for the Bruins to make a big play here, but it's about the effort. They still have to go out there. They can't give up. They got to play their hardest and continue that momentum going.
And even though the score is 7-27, in my opinion, I do not think this game I think the game is closer than the scoreboard shows. I mean, we were 1 or 2 plays away from this being in the favor of Westbrook, but instead it is Galveston ball who came out firing on all cylinders at the beginning of the second half, going up 7, and then getting that touchdown pass over the middle to Fisher Letsos. A little bit, I think he got hit in his thigh a little bit there. He's going to walk off the field, though. Number 26, that will be Tavares Bell on the return. Doesn't get very much, but will be credited. We have
sky kick there by Galveston ball to put them on what looks to be the 27-yard line. So interesting to see what the Bruins will do here.
If they have to move the ball down the field very quickly, they are down by 20 points. So you're down by 3 scores here. They're going to just hand the ball off here. You know, not a lot of time for them to get the ball 3 times to make a comeback. They do have all 3 of their timeouts if they so choose to use them. Ball will be placed at the 29-yard line after a gain of 1. And if you are just joining us, we have had an excellent game so far at Doggett Family Stadium. And we are joined by the one and only Mr. Cormier. He's in here saying hello to everybody on the stream. And we have 1 minute and 20 seconds left in the game. So, Jacob, how do you think this game has gone, and why do you think that Galveston ball is going to come out with the win here?
Now, you know, the defense here for Bruins, they played very well, but the offense, they weren't able to connect on those big passes, and I think that's what kind of cost them the game here. We seen a receiver wide open over the middle, no defenders on him, but Cameron Anderson unfortunately made an overthrown pass, but he has made up for it a lot in this game, but they weren't able to pull off the win here in Beaumont against Galveston ball.
Yep, and you know, you cannot be necessarily worried about what the score says. Score says 7-27, but if I was Westbrook, I would be proud of how these guys played. I mean, they shut out one of the state championship hopefuls in the first half. I mean, you allowed them to 0 points. Your defense was moving, or rather, not allowing them to move that ball down the field. And, you know, even in the second half, after you do get scored on, you still continue to fight. You get backed up at your 1 yard line, and you push the ball down the field, and you flip the momentum. And that will bring up the end of the game here. Final score is going to be Galveston ball 27, Westbrook Bruins 7. And that will close it out for us here at BISD TV. We have some players, you know, walking the field.
And it's been a really great game here tonight. Both teams have played really great, really exceptional. We've seen a lot of big plays by Cameron Anderson. He's a big-time rusher and quarterback for this team, a big weapon. And, you know, how do you think Galveston ball play here tonight, Christian?
Well, I think it was really Kaiden Barker's ability to throw the ball down the field. I mean, we saw him roll out of the pocket a lot and make those throws, but it was really when he stood in the pocket. I mean, all of his touchdown passes, he had a touchdown pass down the sideline. That was an incredible ball from the pocket. He had another touchdown across the middle of the field. That was in the pocket. And his last touchdown pass on a blitz, he had a defender in his face, and he stands in the pocket making that play, and it gives them
get out the pocket by time, especially when your offensive line doesn't hold up. You got to be able to be versatile and mobile.
absolutely. And, you know, who is the star of the game here?
I'm going to be honest, I'm going to have to give it to Zane Williams on the Westbrook side because that fumble recovery in the beginning of the game, that was a big momentum shifter for the Westbrook. They were able to take what they got, get downfield, get a touchdown, and I think that was really great for Westbrook there.
Absolutely. And for the Galveston ball side, I had to split it between Kaiden Barker and Jawan Woodbury, the wide receiver. He had an excellent touchdown catch down the sideline to open the third quarter. And I just think that, you know, both of these teams, they played really well. As you see them behind us down here on the field, those seniors, looking at it from the last time, you know, one of the traditions that the Westbrook Bruins have is they run the field to a Taylor Swift song.
Right, and now, you know, Galveston ball next week, they will play against Lufkin Hill. That's a pretty big team over there. So It'll be interesting to see what the outcome will be. But anyways, I'm Jacob Guidry. Here is Christian Cox. This was a broadcast presented by student professionals here at BISD TV. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Tell him, hold on. Tell him, don't end it. Don't end it. Mic check. Can you hear me? Okay. Hey, first of all, yeah, still on live. That's good. Hey, first of all, can you hear me, mic check? Hear me?
We're still up.
Good. Yeah, yeah. Christian, this is what Christian is wanting to do. Christian, tell me a little bit about your plans once you're done with high school here.
Well, I don't have necessarily a college that I
Mhm.
picked out, but I know that I want to do some form of commentating. One of the things that we do in general is, we work the cameras, we work the mixers to get everything set up. But commentating, when I started last year, I was a little bit nervous, but I know I got in the booth, and a lot of people found me as a natural, and I've really grown into it, and I really love it.
Yeah, and so then we got Jacob Guidry, a junior, who we're breaking in. You're showing them the ropes. You guys are practicing. You actually got to practice with Coach Douglas. One of our other AV teachers from Beaumont United came in the boot with you guys. So we're prepping him, getting him ready as well. And you guys have been doing a great job. Several comments came in tonight just telling you guys how great of a job you did. So again, great job. Keep it up. Jake, how's it going for you, man?
It's been an experience, I can tell you that, Mr. Cormier.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen. I want to use this as an opportunity to plug not only BISD TV, because hey, I believe in the work that we're doing here, but also over at the Career Center. And there's a bunch of other programs and studies that our juniors and senior students get to do that they get to engage in, from welding all the way until we got medical students that's learning pharmacy, EMT. So just a bunch of great things going on. So we'd love for you guys to come and hear some more things. All right. So Christian, great job. Jacob, great job. We'll see you guys again next week for the last game of the year. All right. Have a good one.
Absolutely.